Hello and happy Juneteenth from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. And yes, it does matter. You know what I like about working for myself and working for BB? Morale is always good and management never does dumb shit. And besides that, the coffee's better and the boss don't mind sometime if you act a fool. Okay, what's going on with the water wasters here? There is a water leak outside our apartment complex, and it apparently has something to do with the apartment's sprinkling system, but they've been irrigating the concrete now for almost 72 hours. I'm not really sure what kind of crop they're expecting. Wow, I watched a lot of golf yesterday and Saturday, so a Sunday final round of even par 70 was good enough for the very focused and persistent Wyndham Clark to win his first major championship. Now, Rory shot 70 as well to finish the day exactly where he started, one shot behind. His putter really let him down, and that extends his major championship drought to 33 consecutive major championships spanning almost 9 full years. Ricky ran out of gas, and Scheffler had plenty of chances. He's got to be kicking himself. But it was Clark who really never fell, despite the fact that he stumbled a couple of times. It was a great Father's Day tribute to his living dad and an inspired gaze to his late mom, who died of breast cancer a decade ago. All right, so I get up and I'm watching sports this morning, and already the four letters hoop pundits are saying the Suns will be the best team in the NBA next year. No, they won't. How do I know that? How am I sure of that? Because they're the Phoenix Suns. But everybody's getting all excited about a possible desert big three of Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker. And so the hearts of all the analysts are all aflutter. Beal is expected to head west in a trade from DC. So the question becomes, or the secondary question becomes, where will Chris Paul end up? Somewhere. And when he gets to somewhere, he'll be grabbing a hamstring. My leg. The only thing I know for sure about the AFC East this year is that the Patriots are going to finish last. And really, that's not a diss to New England. It's a kiss to the Bills and the Jets and the Dolphins in no particular order. You know, I've been thinking about this new NFL kickoff fair catch rule, and I've been listening to people, and I haven't heard one NFL special teams coach support this rule. And if you know anything about special teams coaches at any level, they are the nastiest, they're the grittiest, they got a chip on their shoulder, and they don't like this. So the rule says you can fair catch it, but I guarantee you a lot of people just ain't gonna do it. Well, you know, I'm a baseball traditionalist, so nothing says Boston Red Sox like yellow baseball jerseys. What's that about? All right, so TCU is still alive in the Men's College World Series as they won that game yesterday over Virginia. So Virginia is the first team out. So TCU plays an elimination game tomorrow, Tuesday, against Oral Roberts, a team they've already lost to one time. Let's go Frogs. Astros? Really? All right, a couple of things. The only people who are politicizing these charges against Donald Trump and others would be the extreme nutjob wing of the GOP, increasingly known as the GOP. Really? You tell me who's politicizing this. These charges go way past probable cause, and they're very serious questions. And you got people saying, you want to defund the United States Department of Justice? And you want to impeach Merrick Garland? For what? That's another thing about these clowns that just completely amuses me. They want to impeach everybody. Apparently they're not aware of the fact that you have to have an impeachable offense. Dumber than dirt. All right, there's some big cases that are coming up before SCOTUS, the United States Supreme Court, some of them involving affirmative action. Head scratcher for me. First of all, let me say unequivocally that as a society, we should all be working diligently toward a time when affirmative action is no longer needed. Unfortunately, that time has not yet arrived. Let me ask you a question. You don't want everything in life to be competitive, but we find ourselves in a lot of competitive situations as individuals, from a societal standpoint, from an economic standpoint, from an educational standpoint. I'm a sports guy. Let me give you this analogy. Let's say you're competing in a 100-meter dash, but a lot of your competitors' starting blocks are set 75 meters up the track. Don't tell me that's a meritocracy, because it isn't. When you look at the state of Texas and all of the problems facing our once great state, if you distill it far enough, it all comes back to a complete disregard for Texas public education. And it appears to be being done with malice. It's almost like our state and its leadership is proud of our educational insufficiency. So here's what we're going to do for you. We're shooting a podcast later this week with one of the most prominent Texas state public educators of the last century. And we're going to go over this point by point by point and why it should be a hot button issue for you and a top priority for you. Because we're not only neglecting education, we're showing an open disdain for it. I would say I'm not sure what's causing it, but actually I'm pretty sure that I am. Happy Juneteenth. See you tomorrow. We're radically rational.